Jennifer Wells was born on March 15, 1937, in New Jersey, USA. She was the youngest of two daughters born to a German aircraft designer and his wife, who had fled Germany during the rise of the Nazi Party. Her father left the family for another woman when Wells was 9 years old, and she never saw him again. Raised by her protective mother, who became a seamstress to support the family, Wells grew up in Hackensack, New Jersey. From a young age, Wells exhibited a passion for performing arts. She began ballet dancing early in her childhood, and by the age of 9, secured a role as a ballet dancer on a children's television show in New York City. This early exposure to the entertainment industry fueled her ambition to pursue a career in performance. Early career in entertainment. In her teenage years, Wells left high school to join touring musical productions, including The Pajama Game. This decision marked the beginning of her professional journey in the entertainment world. She spent several years performing as a dancer in Las Vegas, honing her skills and gaining valuable stage experience. Upon returning to New York in the early 1960s, Wells transitioned into burlesque dancing, performing in various clubs and sometimes opening shows for comedians. Her work in burlesque led her to study acting under Sanford Meisner at the Neighborhood Playhouse School of Theater, further developing her performance abilities. Transition to mature film industry. By the late 1960s, Wells began appearing in softcore films under the alias Liza Duran. Some of her early works in this genre include Advertisement, 1967, Career Bed, 1969, Submission, 1969, and This Sporting House, 1969, directed by Henri Paccard. These films marked her entry into mature entertainment industry, where she would later become a prominent figure, rise to stardom in mature films. In the mid-1970s, as softcore films began to wane in popularity, Wells transitioned to hardcore films. Despite entering this segment of the industry at around 40 years old, she quickly rose to prominence, becoming one of the genre's leading stars. Her mature appearance and confident performances distinguish her from many of her contemporaries. One of her most notable films from this period is Inside Jennifer Wells, 1977, a semi-autobiographical work that she co-directed with Joseph W. Sarno. The film showcased her versatility and willingness to explore various aspects of sexuality on screen. Another significant film in her career is Erotic Adventures of Little Orphan Sammy, 1977, for which she received the Erotica Award for Best Actress. Her performance in this film solidified her status as a leading actress in adult cinema. Mainstream appearances. In addition to her work in mature films, Wells made appearances in mainstream cinema. Notably, she had a role in The Groove Tube, 1974, a satirical comedy that also featured Chevy Chase. This crossover into mainstream film demonstrated her versatility as an actress, editorial work, and advocacy. Beyond acting, Wells contributed to the mature entertainment industry as the editor of Eros, a magazine focusing on sophisticated erotic content. Her involvement in the publication highlighted her commitment to exploring and presenting sexuality in a nuanced and artistic manner. Retirement and later life. In 1978, at the peak of her career, Wells abruptly retired from the mature film industry after marrying a wealthy fan. She chose to step away from the public eye, leading to much speculation about her whereabouts and reasons for leaving the industry. She settled in Arizona, where she lived a private life until her passing on June 26, 2018. Legacy and recognition. Jennifer Wells's contributions to mature cinema have been recognized posthumously. In 1996, she was inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame, cementing her legacy as a significant figure in the industry. Her life and career have been the subject of retrospectives and interviews, including a notable feature on the Rialto Report, where she broke her 35-year silence to discuss her experiences in the film industry. Filmography highlights. Here are some notable films from Jennifer Wells's career. Inside Jennifer Wells, 1977, a semi-autobiographical mature film that she co-directed, showcasing various aspects of her sexuality. Erotic Adventures of Little Orphan Sammy, 1977, a mature parody that earned her the Erotica Award for Best Actress. Abigail Leslie is Back in Town, 1975, a drama exploring themes of relationships in a small town. The Groove Tube, 1974, a mainstream satirical comedy film featuring various sketches, marking her crossover into cinema. The history of mature films. Acting is an activity in which a story is told by means of its enactment by an actor who adopts a character. In theater, television, film, radio, or any other medium that makes use of the mimetic mode. Acting involves a broad range of skills, including a well-developed imagination, emotional facility, physical expressivity, vocal projection, clarity of speech, and the ability to interpret drama. Acting also demands an ability to employ dialects, accents, improvisation, observation and emulation, mime, and stage combat. Many actors train at length in specialist programs or colleges to develop these skills. The vast majority of professional actors have gone through extensive training. Actors and actresses will often have many instructors and teachers for a full range of training involving singing, scene work, audition techniques, and acting for camera. Most early sources in the West that examine the art of acting, ancient Greek, pi capra iota sigma iota hypocrisy, discuss it as part of rhetoric. One of the first known actors was an ancient Greek called Thespis of Icaria in Athens. Writing 2 centuries after the event, Aristotle in his Poetics, c. 335 BC, suggests that Thespis stepped out of the dithyrambic chorus and addressed it as a separate character. Before Thespis, the chorus narrated, for example, Dionysus did this. Dionysus said, when Thespis stepped out from the chorus, he spoke as if he were the character, for example, I am Dionysus, I did this. To distinguish between these different modes of storytelling, enactment and narration, Aristotle uses the terms mimesis via enactment and diegesis via narration. From the Greek actor Thespis name derives the word thespian. Conservatories and drama schools typically offer 2 to 4-year training on all aspects of acting. Universities mostly offer 3 to 4-year programs in which a student is often able to choose to focus on acting whilst continuing to learn about other aspects of theater. Schools vary in their approach, but in North America, the most popular method taught derives from the system of Konstantin Stanislavski, which was developed and popularized in America as method acting by Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, Sanford Meisner, and others. Other approaches may include a more physically based orientation, such as that promoted by theater practitioners as diverse as in Bogart, Jacques Lekic, Jerzy Grodowski, or Vsevolod Meyerhold. Classes may also include psychotechnique, mask work, physical theater, improvisation, and acting for camera. Regardless of a school's approach, students should expect intensive training in textual interpretation, voice, and movement. Applications to drama programs and conservatories usually involve extensive auditions. Anybody over the age of 18 can usually apply. Training may also start at a very young age. Acting classes in professional schools targeted at under 18s are widespread. These classes introduce young actors to different aspects of acting and theater, including scene study. Increased training and exposure to public speaking allows people to maintain a calmer and more relaxed physiology. Measuring a public speaker's heart rate is perhaps one of the easiest ways to assess changes in stress, as heart rate increases with anxiety. As actors increase their performances, heart rate and other signs of stress may decrease. This is very important in training actors, as adaptive strategies gained from increased exposure to public speaking can regulate implicit and explicit anxiety. By attending an institution that specializes in acting, the increased opportunity to act will lead to a more relaxed physiology and a decrease in stress and its effects on the body. These effects can range from hormonal to cognitive health that can impact quality of life and performance. Some classical forms of acting involve a substantial element of improvised performance. Most notable is its use by the troupes of the Commedia dell'arte, a form of mass comedy that originated in Italy. Improvisation as an approach to acting formed an important part of the Russian theater practitioner Konstantin Stanislavski's system of actor training, which he developed from the 1910s onwards. Late in 1910, the playwright Maxim Gorky invited Stanislavski to join him in Capri, where they discussed training in Stanislavski's emerging grammar of acting. Inspired by a popular theater performance in Naples that utilized the techniques of the Commedia dell'arte, Gorky suggested that they form a company modeled on the medieval strolling players, in which a playwright and group of young actors would devise new plays together by means of improvisation. Stanislavski would develop this use of improvisation in his work, with his first studio of the Moscow Art Theater. Stanislavski's use was extended further in the approaches to acting developed by his students, Michael Chekhov and Maria Nebel,